Hey there, welcome back. Let me ask you something. Why do women often tell men their problems, but seem annoyed when those men try to solve them? You've probably been there. She's venting about her day, her boss, her best friend, or her stress. And the moment you offer a logical fix, she shuts down. Maybe she gets quiet. Maybe she says, "You just don't get it." Maybe she walks away frustrated, leaving you confused, wondering what you did wrong. You were trying to help. You were being logical. You were offering solutions. So why did it backfire? So here's the truth most men never understand. When a woman tells you her problems, it's not always about the problem. It's about you. It's about how you respond. It's about whether you can handle her emotional reality without losing your composure, without becoming reactive, without desperately trying to fix what she might not even want fixed. And once you understand that, your entire view of communication, attraction, and stoicism will change forever. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what her words mean, what she's really testing, and how a truly stoic man handles it all without losing his power. Part 1. The hidden meaning behind sharing problems. Let's start with a basic truth. When a woman shares her problems, she's not necessarily seeking a solution. She's seeking connection. In psychology, this is known as emotional validation. Women bond through emotional exchange. Men bond through shared action or purpose. So when she opens up, it's her way of saying, "I trust you. I want to feel emotionally safe with you." It's an invitation into her inner world. A world that operates on different principles than the logical, problem-solving framework most men default to. But here's the catch. She doesn't want to feel fixed. She wants to feel felt. That's a massive difference. When you instantly jump in with logic, "Well, just do this," or "You shouldn't care about that," or "Have you tried talking to them?" you disconnect from her emotional reality. You're treating her like a broken machine that needs repair. But she's not a machine. She's a human being experiencing emotions in real time, and those emotions are valid simply because she's feeling them. She's not looking for a mechanic. She's looking for a mirror, someone who can reflect back to her that her feelings make sense, that she's heard, that she's not alone in what she's experiencing. When you provide solutions immediately, you're essentially telling her your feelings are a problem to be eliminated, and that feels dismissive, even if you have the best intentions. Think about it from her perspective. She's already thought about solutions. She's probably considered every logical angle before coming to you. What she hasn't gotten yet is someone to simply be present with her emotions without judgment, without urgency, without making it about fixing her. Keep watching, because I'll show you exactly what kind of response triggers attraction instead of resistance, and how Stoicism plays a role in it. Part 2. The Stoic Response. Calm in the chaos. Here's what separates a Stoic man from everyone else. Emotional control. When a woman is emotional, the average man reacts. He gets frustrated because he can't solve it quickly. He gets dismissive because he doesn't understand why she's so upset about something that seems minor. Or he gets defensive, taking her emotions personally, as if her bad day is somehow a reflection of his inadequacy. A Stoic man doesn't do any of that. He listens. He stays still. He doesn't absorb her chaos. He anchors it. When she's emotional, she's subconsciously watching your reaction. Can you handle my storm? Can you stay grounded while I lose balance? Can you remain solid when everything around us feels turbulent? That's the unspoken question she's asking every time she shares her problems. And your answer isn't in your words. It's in your energy, your body language, your emotional temperature. And if your energy stays centered, if you respond with calm curiosity instead of panic, instead of frustration, instead of that desperate need to make her feel better right now, she feels safe. That safety creates trust, and trust fuels attraction. This is where most men get it wrong. They think being helpful means being busy, offering advice, jumping into action, trying to change her emotional state as quickly as possible. But a Stoic man understands something deeper. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing. Just be there. Just hold space. Just let her experience what she's experiencing without trying to control it. So remember this. Her emotional waves are not invitations to solve her life. They're invitations to demonstrate composure, to show her that you're unmoved by the storm, that you can be a lighthouse in turbulent waters. Up next, I'll share the psychological reason women test your stoicism when they open up emotionally. Part 3. Why women test emotional strength. Every woman, consciously or not, tests the emotional strength of the man she's drawn to, not because she wants to manipulate him, but because she needs to feel if he can handle her emotional reality. Women live in an emotional world. They feel deeply, their moods shift, their energy fluctuates. This isn't weakness, it's how they're wired. Emotionally, they experience life in full color, in surround sound, with the volume turned up. And because of that, they need to know, can the man in their life handle that intensity? Or will he crumble, become overwhelmed, or try to suppress it? So when she tells you her problems, part of her is asking, can this man handle who I really am? Can he handle me on my worst day? Can he handle me when I'm anxious, stressed, overwhelmed, or irrational? Can he handle me when I'm not the fun, easygoing version of myself? That's why she might share something heavy, then watch how you react. If you judge her, she shuts down. If you get flustered, she loses trust. If you become anxious or irritated, she feels unsafe. But if you simply listen, with quiet strength, with steady presence, she relaxes. She opens up even more. She leans in. It's not about being cold. It's about being solid. That's what Stoicism teaches. Power through composure. A Stoic man doesn't need her to be calm for him to feel calm. His peace doesn't depend on her emotional state. And that independence, that self-sufficiency, is deeply attractive. Because ultimately, she's not just looking for someone who can handle her problems. She's looking for someone who can handle her, all of her, even the messy, complicated, emotional parts. But here's where things get darker. Sometimes she's not just sharing to connect. Sometimes she's sharing to see your weakness. Part 4. The dark side. When women overshare to test boundaries. There's another layer to this dynamic, one rooted in dark psychology. Sometimes a woman shares her problems not for closeness, but to measure your emotional stability, to see where your breaking point is, to test how much emotional weight you can carry before you buckle. If she senses you're too easily influenced by her emotions, too eager to fix her life, too desperate to make her happy, she'll subconsciously lose respect. Because to her, that signals weakness. It signals that you need her approval, that your emotional state depends on hers, that you can't maintain your frame when challenged. In her mind, a man who's constantly trying to rescue her is a man who needs validation from her comfort, and that's not attractive. A woman doesn't want a man who needs to save her to feel worthy. She wants a man who's complete on his own, who chooses to be there, but doesn't need her emotional state to define his. She might start pushing more emotionally just to test how much you can take before you break. This is not malicious. It's instinctive. It's her way of assessing. Is he grounded enough to lead emotionally, or will he collapse under pressure? If you become emotionally reactive, if you panic when she's upset, if you get angry when she's emotional, if you try desperately to control her feelings, she withdraws. She loses attraction. But if you stay calm, curious but detached, present but not absorbed, she feels magnetically pulled in. This might sound harsh, but it's important to understand. Attraction isn't built on niceness alone. It's built on strength. And emotional strength is tested most when emotions run high. Next, I'll show you what Stoic empathy looks like, the perfect balance between understanding and strength. Part 5. The Power of Stoic Empathy. Stoic empathy is simple. You feel her emotions, but you don't become her emotions. You listen with presence. You acknowledge her pain, but you don't drown in it. You don't take it on as your own burden. You don't make it your mission to eradicate her discomfort. That's power. You can say something like, "I get that this feels heavy for you. I hear what you're saying." Then pause. Let silence do the rest. Let her feel your presence without needing to fill every moment with words, advice, or reassurance. No fixing. No over-talking. No, "Have you tried this?" Just grounded presence. Because silence, when calm, feels safe. It feels stable. It gives her room to process without feeling pressured. That's how you show empathy without surrendering your frame. She feels understood, but she also senses strength. She knows you're with her, but you're not lost in her chaos. You're the anchor, not another boat caught in the same storm. And when a woman feels both safety and strength from a man, she can't help but respect him. That respect becomes the foundation for everything else: trust, attraction, loyalty. Stoic empathy isn't about being emotionless. It's about emotional mastery. It's about having access to your emotions without being controlled by them. And that mastery is magnetic. But there's one major trap you need to avoid, or you'll lose that respect instantly. Let's talk about it next. Part 6. The Fatal Trap. Becoming her therapist. This is where many men fail. They mistake empathy for emotional servitude. They think, if I listen to all her problems, she'll see I care, she'll appreciate me, she'll love me more. But what happens? You become her therapist, not her man. She vents. You listen. She feels better. You feel drained. And over time, the attraction fades. Because when you constantly absorb her emotional weight, you stop being mysterious. You become predictable comfort. You become the person she goes to when she needs to dump her emotional baggage, but not the person she feels pulled toward romantically. She respects your kindness, but she no longer feels your power. You've become safe, reliable, comforting, but not exciting, not challenging, not magnetic. A Stoic man doesn't absorb her emotions. He allows them to flow around him. He doesn't make her his emotional project. He doesn't define his value by how well he can manage her mood. He remains the rock, steady, present, but not consumed. So next time she unloads her stress, don't try to fix it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't spend an hour dissecting every detail of why she's upset. Just breathe, listen, respond simply. Then move on. Shift the conversation. Bring the energy back to neutral ground. This doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care enough about yourself not to lose yourself in someone else's emotional world. And paradoxically, that self-respect makes you more attractive, not less. Up next, I'll show you why this calm detachment not only earns respect, but also deepens attraction. Part 7. Calm detachment equals power plus mystery. Here's the paradox. The more you try to solve her problems, the less she sees you as powerful. The more detached you are without being cold, the more she feels drawn to you. Why? Because mystery triggers desire. When a man doesn't emotionally overreact, a woman starts wondering, what's going on in his mind? How is he so calm? Why doesn't he get pulled in like everyone else? What makes him different? That curiosity creates magnetism. It's primal. It taps into something deep in human psychology. We're attracted to what we don't fully understand, to what remains slightly out of reach. And from a Stoic standpoint, calm detachment isn't indifference. It's discipline. It's control over your own energy. It's choosing not to be swept away by every emotional current that passes through your life. Because a man who controls himself controls the dynamic. This is especially true in relationships. When you're unshaken by her emotions, when you don't panic or become reactive, you set the emotional tone. You become the thermostat, not the thermometer. You don't react to the temperature. You set it. And women feel this. They feel when a man is leading emotionally versus when he's just reacting. And they're drawn to the man who leads. Next, I'll give you the practical blueprint, the step-by-step Stoic way to handle emotional conversations with women. Part 8. The Stoic Blueprint. How to handle her emotional talks. Here's your playbook. 1. Stay physically still. When she talks, don't fidget or pace. Stillness signals stability. It shows you're not rattled, not anxious, not uncomfortable with what she's sharing. 2. Maintain steady eye contact. It shows presence without emotional entanglement. You're with her, but you're not drowning in her emotions. Your eyes say, "I'm here, I'm listening, I'm not going anywhere." 3. Listen fully before responding. Never interrupt. Let her finish her emotional release. Don't cut her off with "I understand" before she's done. Give her the space to fully express herself. Sometimes she doesn't even know what she's feeling until she's said it out loud. 4. Acknowledge, don't solve. Say, "That sounds tough," or "I get what you mean," or "That makes sense." Nothing more needed. You're not agreeing or disagreeing. You're not offering solutions. You're simply acknowledging that you heard her. End with grounding energy. Change the topic calmly, smile slightly, and shift to neutral ground. You might say, "Want to take a walk?" or "Let's do something to get your mind off this." You're not dismissing her feelings. You're helping her move through them instead of staying stuck. This approach communicates, "I understand you, but I'm not here to be consumed by your chaos." It's subtle, but she feels it, and she'll remember it. She'll remember how you made her feel safe without making her your entire focus. We're almost done, but next, I'll show you how this entire approach ties into real Stoic philosophy from Marcus Aurelius himself. Part 9. What Stoicism teaches about emotional control. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." When a woman brings her emotions to you, that's an outside event. You can't control her feelings, but you can control your reaction. That's the heart of Stoicism, and also the heart of attraction. Because every time you choose composure over chaos, you prove something powerful. You lead emotionally. You remain unshaken, and women respect that far more than endless empathy or constant problem solving. Stoicism teaches that the obstacle is the way. Her emotional moments aren't obstacles to intimacy. They're opportunities to demonstrate strength. Every time she's upset and you remain calm, you're passing a test. Every time she's overwhelmed and you stay grounded, you're showing her you're the kind of man who can handle life's challenges. Remember, she's not testing your knowledge, your solutions, or your logic. She's testing your center. She's testing whether your peace is real or just a facade that crumbles under pressure. And when you prove, time and time again, that your center holds, that's when she truly feels safe with you. That's when attraction deepens. That's when respect transforms into something more profound. Part 10. Final truth and closing thoughts. So here's the truth in one sentence. If a woman tells you her problems, it means she wants to. She wants connection, safety, understanding, and a man strong enough not to get lost in her emotions. That's why Stoicism is so powerful. It's not about being emotionless. It's about emotional dominance. It's about understanding her world while staying firmly rooted in your own. It's about being present without being consumed, empathetic without being weak, caring without being desperate. When you do that, when you stay composed and calm through her emotional storms, you don't just earn her trust, you earn her respect. And respect is the foundation of true attraction. Without respect, attraction fades. Without respect, Love becomes obligation, but with respect, everything else follows naturally. This applies beyond romantic relationships too, in friendships, in family dynamics, in professional settings. Being the calm, grounded presence in emotional situations gives you a unique power. People gravitate toward those who can handle chaos without becoming chaotic themselves. So the next time a woman in your life shares her problems, remember, she's not asking you to fix her. She's asking you to be with her, to hold space, to remain solid while she processes what she's feeling. And if you can do that, if you can listen without solving, be present without absorbing, care without drowning, you'll become the kind of man women respect, trust, and are naturally drawn to. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. And if you want to dive deeper into understanding human psychology, attraction, and Stoic power, check out the other videos on this channel for more truth and wisdom. Thanks for watching. Stay calm, stay grounded, and I'll see you in the next one.